we are doing Talk Shop with me.
I had to switch up the flow, show you the way that it go. God is good, but his life is hard. But it gets better when you grind it small. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the baton, we gon' take it far. Always be real, we don't fake it all. Tired of 9 to 5, just make enough to survive.
And so today we've got two people from RoboJob, and we're going to bring in Craig and Jelle into the stream. How's it going, guys?
Great. How are you?
Doing great. All right. So, guys, tell me. We're going to start with Craig. Craig, tell me a little bit about RoboJob and what it is that you guys do from your standpoint in the U.S.
Right. So our mission is basically to help automate CNC machine shops, vertical milling centers, small to medium-sized turning centers. We've been in alliance with RoboJob based in Belgium, who's had success with installing this type of automation to over 1,300 units throughout Benelux, which is Western Europe. And now we're making some hay here in the United States. We're based in Chicago, where a lot of the metalworking is located in the United States. And we're serving over 50 different clients now throughout the United States.
Coming from Belgium, the parent office, the parent company, tell me what you guys have been doing over there.
I was born in a job shop. My father owns a job shop with about 22 CNC machines. We do turning and milling, only turning and milling of aluminum parts, but also steel, bronze, messing, name it, we do it. And the reason we started RoboJob in 2007 was because we could not find people anymore. Yeah, so there are no manufacturing people in the industry in Europe anymore. And we developed a system, the first RoboJob unit that was able to be programmed in 5 minutes of time for a piece that you haven't seen before. So we focus, Kyle, on small batches, small runs. We want to be flexible with our robot systems, and we want our operators and machinists not to learn anything about robotics. Yeah, it needs to be a help for them. We achieved in Europe, after 4 years of development in the garage of our grandparents, and we took some time to come to the US because we wanted to find the right partner. And with Craig and his team up in Chicago, we are now here. Yeah, more than 50 units installed in the past year. Looking forward to IMTS, where we show our units on the exhibition. And we want to make it in the US again. Yeah, so we see a big future for US manufacturing when they automate in an intelligent way. Yeah, so I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today and to just have a conversation with you and Craig, maybe about the future of manufacturing. I don't know. I'm quite curious about your questions today.
Yeah, so that's definitely an interesting story. So you guys had issues finding good people, and then you're like, you know what? Let's just create some robotics to be able to assist with that. I mean, that's definitely.
Yeah. So what we try to do, Kyle, is to look at our good machinists. Yeah, they make the money. They make the spindles turn, and when we make chips, we make money. But we have seen that some of our good machinists, they walked away because the business was changing too hard. The batch sizes have been growing slower and smaller and smaller. Delivery times have been ramped up, so we needed to deliver faster. So the only thing they were doing is loading and unloading CNCs, and they didn't have the time to program machines for prototyping anymore. So we wanted to change that, bring the boring stuff to robotics, and have our people focus on the added value, the creative tasks in our company.
Yeah, so robotics in CNC and bringing in automation. I mean, when you guys took on that challenge, it seems like it's a crowded space, right? Like I have to assume there's a lot of players, a lot of competition for you guys. So you made some strides over in Europe, and then you're bringing it into the United States. Craig, why don't you tell me what type of hurdles have you had to overcome getting the brand recognition out here?
That's a great question, Kyle. So a little bit of backstory about ours, and I'll answer your question, is that we were mostly a contract manufacturer for 20 years with doing machining and assembly in our facility, and we had echoed the same challenges that Jelle was talking about with his family business, where we we had machinists that wanted to do more creative tasks and not do machine tending. And what we were trying to do is, automate our own shop. And we did that with some collaborative robots, and we had some success with it. But we found quite a lot of difficulty as we grew that type of automation internally, because it was required because of a lot of do-it-yourself type automation. And we discovered that there is something that was more exciting and purpose-built, which was the RoboJob product. And it's a smaller space. There's not a lot of competition for purpose-built CNC automation type equipment. There's a lot of buzz out there with the collaborative robots and do-it-yourself type work. But what we discovered is that internally with us and also externally with our customers that actually use this type of automation, they're not interested in the do-it-yourself type work. They need instant success with the automation, and that requires having purpose-driven products like RoboJob has. It's pretty much what we call off-the-shelf type equipment. So when we deliver that message in the marketing side of things, it's really impactful, because the equipment's stock equipment that we have here, so that it shows that there's instant gratification from a perspective of a customer's needs. Also, our installations are in less than a week. So, these are things that our customers are drawing on. They don't want the long process of developing some sort of automation. They don't want the long process of tying up their CNCs when they're trying to put that automation in. So this is actually a game changer, and there's a very limited amount of competition in this space right now, because the other part of the competition is more in that do-it-yourself type space, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So you guys found a specific niche, right? Like you guys could probably create a robot that could do everything, right? Collaborative robots and 7-axis and all that stuff, but you guys found a specific niche of saying this is what the market needs and wants, and they're solving their problems with a solution that's not, can it do it? Yes, but is it meant specifically to do that single thing? Can it be done quickly? How fast is the ROI, right? Everybody cares about ROI and time to implement. And so you guys have the solution for a specific niche. And that's where I feel like too many times, especially in industrial, people are trying to focus on going after everything, right? Whether it's because of revenue or because they don't want to say no to certain industries. They're like, I want to create something that can solve everybody's problem at once. But a lot of times that can hinder your growth because you're not serving a specific niche that can get you quicker revenue. So Jelle, talk to me about once you guys started coming to the US and started marketing it with Craig and his team, did you see some instant spike in activity?
We did a very profound study kind of before coming to the US. So we talked with many companies in the US before partnering up with Craig and his team in Chicago. And the reason we believe we can grow the business in the US very fast is that the know-how of the people working at RoboJob USA is very high. They've been integrating robots for already six years now. So they know the ins and outs of integrating robot systems on CNC machines. Okay, so it's not only like putting a robot in front of a machine and it will do the trick. You have to integrate, you have to interface with the machine, you have to automate the doors of the machine to open and close automatically. And you also need to understand how robots think. Yeah, so they work in 3 dimensions with 6 axes. We didn't invent the robot ourselves. We use one of the best robot suppliers in the world, Fanuc. Yeah, but our software platform that we integrated is just amazing. It's like an iPhone, which was a game changer in the phone industry. Everybody could use suddenly a mobile phone. Yeah. With RoboJob, it's the same. In the past, people used the robot for very complex, high volume parts. We changed the application and now we use it as an iPhone, so everybody can do it. And the know-how and the intelligence of the people at RoboJob USA, they were away with the total idea in a couple of days. So we have a full team trained up. We work very close together with many machine tool distributors and OEM manufacturers in Chicagoland. And we have seen a spike in activity immediately. Yeah, and one of the other reasons, which is very important for us, Kyle, is the service. Yeah, we want to give not only the first impression to customers should be right, an installation within 1 week. It's quite extraordinary in our business. But also afterwards, if customers have a question or want an extra training, we want to give it to them, yeah, because they can only make money if they're making chips, yeah. And we have a direct flight from Brussels to Chicago, so that also helped quite a lot to bring our knowledge and intelligence over to Craig's team, and especially to the customers that are using RoboJob systems now in the US.
Yeah, that's great to hear that from a robot standpoint, partnering with Fanuc. I mean, who can touch Fanuc, right? They're the best in the industry, have been forever. It's just their motion platforms. I mean, you can't touch it, right? So talking about service, I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't think about when they're buying capital equipment. It's like, all right, who can get me the best price? Who can solve my problem? Get me the thing quickly. But then a lot of times they don't think about the service aspect because something's going to go wrong, right? Whether it's they have issues with software, they need to call the company that is servicing it, or they have issues with parts, or they, longer term down the road, they have to replace parts, things like that. I feel like people don't think about service. Has that been a driving factor from a sales standpoint? Like, do people still have issues getting service from some of the competitors out there?
One of the things that is amazing about the product too is that whenever we have a service call, we learned this early on working with Jelle, and our team couldn't believe it, but more than 98% of the time we have a service call, like if somebody calls in and asks, for help to support some sort of challenge that they have, it's all taken care of over the phone. That's what's amazing about this type of automation, is that it's quite bulletproof. And Jelle and his team was very careful about the timing of bringing their product here to the United States. They wanted to make sure it was bulletproof. So the applications where there's a situation where we have a service call that comes up, it's normally about them doing something different with the robot that was not normally what was supposed to be, first intended for. So most of our service issues are taken care of over the phone, sometimes within 5 minutes, sometimes within 20 minutes. So it's pretty quick, which is unique. And the other thing to suggest here too, you mentioned about Fanuc. Fanucs are designed for high speed, high payload, dirty environments, continuous operation, 24/7. For machine tending, to take apart in and out of a CNC, this is what the best analogy is, basically grandma driving her car to church on Sunday only. These are robust solutions. The robots are strong and powerful and bulletproof as well, and same with the software. So what's unique about this is that the product is quote unquote bulletproof.
I mean, it's really interesting that you guys can do that stuff remote. I feel like with some of the traditional solutions out there, a lot, like, it depends on that support system and the service system in place, but it looks like you guys did the stuff up front with the development of it, so that way, knowing that there's going to be service issues down the road. Jelle, do you feel like you guys knew that ahead of time and you developed the system, the solution, so that way you guys could service those calls easier and more efficiently?
Yeah, so the first 2 years, Kyle, I have to admit, we also did quite some custom specific projects. We integrated the robot for loading very big parts, high volumes. We integrated the robot for loading very small parts, low volumes. And we figured out quite fast that if we develop a solution which is dedicated for only one customer, you need that guy that developed the solution for that customer to stay in the company forever. Because if that machine breaks down, he's the only one that knows where to look for. Yeah. And so in 2010, we switched strategies quite fast after discovering that this wasn't the growth model. And then we took on the approach of more like, let's say, Apple with their iPhones. Yeah. People that use an iPhone, they're getting pushed. And this was just amazing. So if we were able to have a standardized product that we can service, yeah, over the complete life cycle, yeah, with new people in the company that we train and grow. Yeah, this was the philosophy of the first RoboJob unit that we placed onto the market, having this type of strategy. So after a couple of mistakes in the beginning, Kyle, we figured out that the only way to grow the business and maintain a high customer satisfaction is to have standardized units, standardized systems, and then all the intelligence should be in the software. And this is something that we developed. So it's working out quite well, I have to say. And we are having a conversation now. I'm in Belgium for the moment. It's 7:22 in the evening. So you can imagine a customer of ours in the US calling to Greg's office, and if there's really a problem that we cannot solve in the US, we can jump in remotely from Belgium as well. It's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, so something you said there I think is interesting, and I've talked about that a lot, but it's like that pivot point that you guys did where you said, we're going down this path, it's not working, or it's not the best solution for it, and then you guys quickly pivoted. Do you feel like if you didn't do that we wouldn't be talking where we're at today?
Yeah, definitely, without a question. Yes, definitely. Although it's very fun, to make custom dedicated solutions, and it's maybe the thing that my father did the most, and enjoyed the most, is developing something new. It's very tricky to try to grow a business that is different all the times. We wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't change.
Yeah, I feel like too often people, whether you're in sales, marketing, you're in industrial, it's like you keep doing the same thing, and you have to make an adjustment, you have to make a pivot. But maybe it's because people are too used to doing it the traditional way. Maybe it's because there's too many layers of complexity in order to make a pivot or adjustment. But I feel like the people that succeed the fastest and the most are the ones that are willing to make that pivot point, adjust, change paths to what they're doing quickly, and then looking at the results to see if that did indeed increase whatever expectation they had. But I feel like people often enough are not doing that, and they get bogged down by not adjusting quickly. Would you agree with that, Craig, on your side?
Oh, absolutely. We're a firm believer of the 80-20 or Pareto principle, where 80% of your work is standardized into a certain effective model. And absolutely, it's something that actually I believe is important, that kind of Jelle just touched on too, is like they didn't want to commercialize anything that was for a small population of machine shops. It was designed for what 80% of the machine shops need. And they also use, and Jelle, I don't want to take anything away from how you guys look at things commercially, is that you're looking at, if there's more than one customer interested in this is something worth looking at. And the automation that RoboJob is developing there, that's already in Europe but not even in the US yet, is so advanced because they're developing new products where customers need these type of products. It's not just a one-off or designed for a small select few. And also the R&D over at RoboJob is significantly more advanced in developing things that the larger population of machine shops need.
So you guys talked about IMTS. It's coming up here in a few weeks. What type of display can people expect to see at IMTS this year from you guys?
Yeah, so we wanted to bring Belgian beer, Kyle, on the IMTS, but unfortunately this is not allowed, not possible. So we have booked a booth in the south building, the main building of the show. If you see the booth of Mezek or Haas, it's in between and then all the way down the aisle. We will show our turn assist and mid assist solutions, so loading systems for lathe and a loading system for mini machines. We will present the software on different screens, so customers can have a feeling how easy it is to program the systems. I will be there, Craig and his team will be there as well to talk to anybody who is interested. And if somebody wants to bring parts to the show that we want to demonstrate with the units, parts that we haven't seen before, bring them. We can do a demonstration, we can show how the product works. We have a meeting room available for customers that want to order immediately, or for partners that want to look for long-term partnerships with RoboJob USA. So yeah, we're very happy that there is a show again after a couple of years without any shows due to the COVID pandemic. So we are very, very excited. And also we bring a couple of people from Belgium to Chicago as well to see the city, to see the show, the customers in the US. So everybody's very excited at RoboJob. Yes.
Yeah. IMTS, what a show to start with, right? Because it's massive, and what a great city, Chicago. That's where I was born and raised. But 4 years ago, I said I got to get out of the cold, and I moved down here to Texas to thaw out. So, I mean, you guys heard it. Everybody watching this, whether you're watching this live, watching on replay, you guys heard it from Jelle. He said, bring the challenge, bring it on. They will take any part you got and show you how they can do the application development right there in front of your eyes. I think you guys are going to have a great time at that show. But before we go into our rapid fire questions of the fun part, the funner part of this conversation, what do you guys feel are like the top 2 reasons why people talk to you from a sales standpoint? What are the top 2 issues people are having that you're there to solve for them?
Mostly the manpower issue, right? There's a lack of people that are interested in doing the dull, mundane work inside machine shops. There's just too much competition for entry-level people that do standard type of operations inside of CNC. Look, there's a lot of challenges out there right now with our customers throughout the machine shop industry, is that there's underutilized spindles. They have them 365 days a year. People are not getting enough output from those spindles, and having a robot working through the day and through the night is actually allowing them to achieve the productivity expectations. And as Jelle said, the batch sizes for most job shops or machine shops are shrinking. There is a big concern over that they're going to meet those production demands with their customers in these small lots. So it requires a lot of machinists doing new setups and moving back and forth and letting the robot do that dull, mundane work. And that goes back to the challenge, is that you have a high-priced machinist doing work that's mundane. They should be doing more of that creative tasks, doing what they're paid for, which is to do advanced programming and inspection and keeping up with all the paperwork that's required in high precision machining.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the biggest issues right now in manufacturing. All the clients that we have, all the people that we talk to, is finding labor. And it's not necessarily project engineers, salespeople, it's operators, it's fork truck drivers, it's those people that are in those positions. Like, we've got one client right now in the Twin Cities, they have 60 open positions, ranging from brazers, welders, to line operators, cell leaders, and they've been like that for over a year. Your solution should, if I own a machine shop and I'm having issues with that, I would think that I would instantly turn to you guys and say, help me out with my labor issues on this. What do you guys have on the horizon to close out 2022? Is there anything big that you guys are releasing? Or are you guys just still focusing on penetrating the US as deep as possible?
We will see what the reaction of the market is during IMTS. Yeah, we expect we expect a boom. Yeah, so we are looking for people also at RoboJob USA to join the team. Yeah, salespeople, but also people that can install the systems throughout the US. And we have been talking in the US already with Fanuc and also other suppliers to maybe build the product in the United States. It's too early to tell, yeah, because of the supply chain issues we currently see. Yeah, but the target is to bring RoboJob unit to any manufacturing company in the US. That's our target.
Yeah, that's the target. I love that target, and let's do it, right? Like, let's make it as big as possible. From the few people that I know that have dealt with you guys, it's like 7 degrees of separation in manufacturing, right? Like, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. So I've had a couple of people say, dude, you need to check out RoboJob. And that's when I said to my team, I'm like, who knows somebody from RoboJob? And Greta's like, I know people from RoboJob, and let me talk to Craig. All right, guys, we're going to go into rapid fire questions. So these are going to be, Craig, you're going to answer them first. Jelle, you're going to answer them second. These are random questions, have nothing to do with business. They're supposed to be fun. So let's see how quick you guys can answer them. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. First question, what's your favorite food? Craig, go.
Pizza.
Jelle?
Belgian fries.
Belgian fries. All right. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Soccer, yeah. Soccer.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
Dogs.
All right. What time do you go to bed at night?
Ooh, 10 p.m.
11 p.m.
All right. What is your favorite board game?
Monopoly.
Is chess also a board game, Kyle?
Yeah, I would say chess is a board game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta love Monopoly too. I'm with you there, Craig. Do you speak more than one language?
I know Southside Chicago.
That counts. That counts.
Yes.
Jelle,
Yes.
how many languages do you speak?
I think about 4 languages, 4 or 5.
4. Have you guys ever been skydiving?
No.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately.
Would you ever go skydiving?
Yeah, definitely.
It depends if my insurance agent's listening in.
I don't care.
I got you. Do you shower at night or in the morning?
Both.
Mostly at night.
Mostly at night. All right. Would you rather work your dream job or win the lottery?
Work my dream job.
Easy. Yeah. Work my dream job.
Yeah, and if you do it well enough, it's both, right? You're working your dream job and winning the lottery too. Would you prefer driving or flying?
Oh, flying.
Flying.
And then sweet or spicy?
Sweet.
I would go for spicy. Yeah.
Spicy. All right. Do you have your own Netflix account or do you use someone else's?
I have my own.
Good question. Yeah, I have my own. Yes.
Okay. I feel like a lot of people out there would be like, I use somebody else's. And for the younger people, it's probably their parents.
Yep.
All right. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how messy is your house or apartment?
Oh, I'd say a 3.
3 is very messy, Craig? Or
No, 3 being pretty clean. So I didn't want to say 10 would be messy, right? So I was
Yeah, 10 would be messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 children, Kyle, so it would be 8 or 9, I think.
Depends on the time of day, right?
Depends on the time of day. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got 4 kids with my 5th one on the way, and I feel like when they're not there during the middle of the day, it's pretty clean. But then after school starts, it's just they're like tornadoes.
Same
It
here.
doesn't matter the age. Mine range from 20 months to 13 years old right now.
Wow.
And they're still messy. So I'm with you there. All right, guys, anything else that you wanted to get across in this talk shop session? Any last words, anything you guys want to talk about?
Well, I know you have a great following group. I just really excited about the IMTS show. And for those that, need to know the number of the booth, it's 338-275. We'll be there the whole time. Jelle will be there on Monday and Tuesday, and I will be there all week. So we hope to meet some of your followers at IMTS in September.
If you're going to IMTS, you need to at least stop by and say hi to these guys and be like, dude, I saw you guys on the live on LinkedIn. We're going to be pushing out some of this video content out there shortly. So guys, definitely stop by, support this team that is trying to make a difference and bring some automation into the CNC world, and just at least stop by and have a quick conversation with them.
If you are in Europe, Kyle, just give me a call and visit us. We can have a Belgian beer together. And
all right.
I also hope to see everybody at the IMTS series.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on to this live to talk shop with me. Hopefully you guys got some value out of it. Hopefully it was fun for you. That's all we're trying to do here. And to everybody watching this, definitely if you're going to IMTS, check out RoboJob. Do it for me. I was planning on being there, but schedules aren't lining up. So at least stop by and say hi to these guys for me. And as always, go to the YouTube channel. We've got over probably 300 videos now on the YouTube channel talking about industrial manufacturing, marketing, sales, everything in between. And now these new Talk Shop with Kyle shows. So go check it out, and we will see you on the next one.